Welcome. We are at White Hart Bar in the city, the home of Climates, a monthly meetup for climate conscious creatives. One of my favorite, can I say favorite? I can't say favorite. One of the great Climates members is Harry Russell. Harry Russell is a designer, illustrator, barista, which is very handy when you're trying to survive as a creative.
Oh my God, yeah.
But yeah, we will possibly show up on screen some of Harry's amazing artwork of iconic locations in Melbourne. So yeah, what are the questions that we get often? How do we network to find work? Where can we go to find those connections that can lead us into our next vocation, our next role? We don't have answers, but we do have a space to have that conversation. So Harry, being an illustrator puts a lot of time into your craft. How are you finding trying to pitch that as a service for remuneration?
I think at the moment, the reason why I've done the Melburnian series is really just to kind of challenge myself and figure out how to develop my style, to see how I want my work to look. And doing this series has really helped me in that, because each piece is crazy. It's like so detailed. It's basically creating a photograph from a drawing. When you kind of approach a business with something like that, you kind of have to figure out, how am I gonna make my time worth doing this piece, and how am I gonna make it so that it's not unreasonably expensive for the client? And that's something that I'm trying to figure out at the moment. How can I solve an issue for them or a problem from them? And how can I basically use my artwork to, cultivate a community around their brand? Around these images that I'm making are kind of immortalizing the space in a way. And I think for me, the reason I started doing it was because I just loved so many places in Melbourne. I really wanted to be able to show the world like my vision of things, I guess, maybe like my perspective. And I think that's a big reason why I feel like, some of these businesses will do well from the work that I'm making, because in the customers' minds, to kind of create this community around the business that feels that they can remember it. And you can come into a place and you can order a coffee and you see on the side, oh, there's a sticker or there's a postcard or whatever, or on the wall I can see a print of this specific space. And maybe you pick up a postcard or something and you see my work and you remember the business in your mind. I think that's like a big thing of why I want to approach new places with this work, because I think there is a market for it, especially in the world where AI is kind of taking over everything and lots of places don't have the money for this kind of thing. But I think people really appreciate that human touch and that using art to kind of keep the businesses in people's minds.
One thing I like about your work is that there's many beautiful spaces in Melbourne that you visit every day and appreciate the aesthetic of a space, but it doesn't stick with you. But when you see it represented with the care that you put into your work, is that you go, how you can actually see the beauty in the minute details of your work. Every piece is actually carefully curated in the pieces that you do. So then you go, it makes you appreciate where you visit at a deeper level, I feel.
Yeah. What I love about the Climates group is that I think as an artist, especially in a big city, it's very isolating. When you're creating work on your own, I spend, like I say, hours on this work and I'm just sitting at home or I'm sitting on the train or whatever it is, and you just got your earbuds in, you're just kind of getting along with things. But I think when you come to an event like this, you really feel like you have, there's a bigger world out there for you, and you don't feel as alone. And I think that's a really important thing, especially right now with social media. You're constantly comparing yourself to other people. I also moved here 2 years ago, so I'm still trying to cultivate this kind of community around me. And I think something like this is so important, where you can come as a creative and you can meet other people, you can relate to other people, you can show your work, you can see their work, and possibly get some work from another business as well, which is really awesome. Every time I come to an event like this, I feel like I get something from it, no matter what it is. And whether that's a couple more friends or a few more followers or whatever you want to say, it's very rewarding. I feel like for me, I haven't found anything that really feels like you come to it and you get a real sense of fulfillment from it. So I really hope that this continues and that we can keep meeting up every month, because I love it. It's great. I wish that more people would come.
You heard it here first. Climates is the bee's knees. It's the best. We run this monthly. We're here to be an open space for climate conscious creators. Just cultivate a community that actually looks after each other, and that we can actually have a beer, and then just carry on for another month as we try and survive till the next climates. Thank you very much. Thank you, Harry.